Well, y'all, today we're making felted heart garland, just in time for Valentine's Day. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some sort of felting pad or mat. Sometimes they have brushes, got foam, and then there's like felt pads. But you're gonna need a surface to felt on. I highly recommend you get some little leather finger protectors. You will thank me later. Also gonna need some wool roving in a variety of colors. Since I'm doing hearts for Valentine's Day, I have actually purchased a variety pack of all different shades of pink, which is amazing. I need felting needles. This has become my favorite one. I've linked all of these items in my Amazon storefront. Also gonna need sort of thicker string or cording. Now we are doing hearts, and I've linked this specifically in my Amazon storefront. The reason that I picked this one out is because it's a variety of shapes that I can use for multiple projects. But for this project, we're going to use a larger heart and a tiny heart. Now the kit on my Amazon storefront came in this bag, and it included all of these needles, a variety of different sizes. And then these are the holders for the needles. So you can put a bunch of different ones in there. It also came with a little pair of snips and this thing that I have no idea what it is, but I used it to clean my nails because my nails look dirty on film. And, oh, it came with this felting pad, and it also came with these little finger covers. So it's a really, oh, hold on. Also came with this and these little pins. And for some reason, it came with 3 hot glue sticks. So if anybody knows why, please tell me because I have no idea. Now, in addition to that kit, I bought the wool roving and this cording, and then I also bought this felting pin. This felting pin, again, this is my favorite one. The kit alone is worth the price you pay to get this and this. Oh, this is also separate from everything else. But I'm gonna link everything for you. So we're gonna start with a little bit of this pink roving. What we're gonna do is we're going to just pull this apart. So we're gonna take about this much. And then I am just going to gently pull this apart, okay? So we're just gonna pull, and you'll see it just starts to give way. Gently, gently. And I'm just gonna fan this out a little bit. And we're gonna start with our large, which I say large, this is still pretty tiny. I mean, it's what, maybe 2 inches? It's little. So I'm gonna start with my roving, and I'm just gonna kind of fold this up just a little bit, just gently. And then I'm gonna stick it through the bottom. And it's okay if a little bit of it's hanging out the bottom. It's not a big deal. And now, for safety, because yes, I have already stabbed myself with these. This pin comes with 3 in it, and I took out 1 so that I only have 2. And I'll show you how to do that. So all that you do is you're going to unscrew this, and on the underside you'll see there are those little pins, and they just pull right out. Actually, I'm gonna start with 3. So the more needles you start with, the bigger the project. It's when you get to the detail work that you're gonna want to have less needles. So now you can see I've got 3. And we're going to use our covered fingers to hold this. And you still want to be gentle because this can still go through the leather. It does not mean you're not going to get hurt. You've got to really watch where you're sticking these needles. You also have to watch out for hitting the needle on the side of this metal cookie cutter. You can break these needles. So right now I'm just trying to help get this more compact and just moving my way around, pulling it in a little bit. And you'll see all of a sudden it's like, it feels like it's not going anywhere, and then all of a sudden it's going to start getting smaller. You'll see I'm just kind of, any of the parts that are just hanging over, I'm just gonna kind of pull those in some, because I want this to be really compact. Gotta be careful as I get closer to these edges. So now I'm going to just loosen that up a little bit. I'm gonna turn this over, and this side, I'm gonna start compacting this one. Okay, now it's time to do some detail work. So I'm gonna put the lid back on this. This is what I've found to be the easiest. Put the lid back on this, and then I'm going to unscrew this, and I'm actually just going to take out 1 of these needles. So I want the other 2 still in there. And with the 2, it's a whole lot easier to go around the edge of the cookie cutter. And I'm just going to go right up against it and just be really careful with my needle so that I don't break it. Okay, so I'm gonna take the cookie cutter off, and you're gonna see that we have a heart shape. And y'all, the cookie cutter makes this so much easier. I mean, look how great that looks. So, but you still are going to need to probably clean it up a little bit. One thing you have to be really careful of is symmetry. So you want to make sure that when you're working, you don't go too crazy on either side. Just kind of clean up the edges going around. And then like this one looks a little bit flatter there. Just going to kind of clean it up a little bit. And then the main thing to get it to really look like a heart is you need this indentation right here. So what I will do is I'll almost pinch the bottom like this and just really go at it in this crease. And I even kind of turn mine this way and it just accentuates that even more. And then just kind of clean up the edges a little bit. You just have to watch it. Make sure you don't flatten it too much because you don't want to lose that heart shape. Okay, so that side's looking pretty good. Down a little bit more. So we're gonna turn that over and do a similar thing on this side, just clean it up a little bit. And there we go, we got a heart. Now you're gonna want to create a variety of colors, and don't worry, like this one I did really, really thick, and then this one I did kind of thin. That's not gonna matter on the garland. You're gonna wanna do an odd number of heart. That way you're gonna have a center heart and then move out. How many hearts you do depends on where you're gonna put this garland. You're gonna need some spacer hearts, and that's what those tiny hearts are going to be for. In my opinion, the smaller hearts are harder to make, but I'm going to show you. Same thing, just a little bit more work after you've taken the cookie cutter off. So now we've got one more little one to go. Stuff that full. I'm only going to do 2 needles on this one because I do not need 3. 3 will barely fit into this heart. And I'm just going to get to the center and just really start smashing this down. Now the little heart, you really have to be careful with hitting the edges. Now the more compact you can make these little ones, the better. Because otherwise, when they come out of this, they almost become, just like pop back to being a circle. Here we go. So here's my little heart. Now what you have to watch out for with the little bitties is a lot of times they really start to lose that little indentation at the top. So I just gently pinch mine at the bottom and then keeping my needles straight ahead so it's not in a nice little line, I just really start working on that. And there she is. All right, so let's string these up. All right, I've measured out my cording. So I actually did 3 times the length of what I have. And the reason that I did that is because I'm gonna knot these between them. And so I wasn't sure just how much I would end up needing. So that's why I went extra. You're gonna need to make sure that you tie a knot on both sides of your heart when you put them in. So it helps just to kind of use that needle to pull that knot tight. And that way you don't have to worry about your heart sliding around. Okay, so then we've got to figure out our spacing. So I think that's good. So maybe I'll use my heart to measure. I'll use my heart to measure. All you're gonna do is just continue stringing these up and make sure that you're putting those knots on either side and just make this as long as you want. Mine is only gonna go across my desk, so it didn't have to be too long. This is such an easy project, and I am officially hooked on needle felting. I cannot wait to do more projects. But guys, I hope you had fun. Be sure to like and subscribe if you have not. And guys, go out and have yourself a little me time. It's so important. All right, I'll see y'all next time.